Welcome back to the Relationship Refinery, where I'm here to help you redefine as well as refine the way that you view healthy relationships. I'm Aisha Tisdale, a marriage and family therapist associate, so I have a lot of background and information on relationships. As a marriage and family therapist associate, I work with couples as well as foster children and their foster families to help them improve their relationships. So who better to help you redefine and refine the way that you view them? I will be posting 2 videos every week, one on Mondays. On Mondays is where I'm going to be identifying, like I said, that parent and child relationship. So this is for those who already have children or desire children, as well as you are a child. You are somebody's child. Maybe you didn't grow up in a healthy environment or with a healthy relationship with your parent, and you're wanting to process that, what that looks like, what that love is. You grew up thinking that this was love, and you're not sure if it was, and so you're not wanting to pass that down to your children. This video is for you. Then the other one on Thursday will be the more of the romantic side of things. So if you are currently in a romantic relationship, you're looking to begin a romantic relationship, or maybe that's not even on your mind right now, but you still want to gather more information as to what love is, then that video is for you. Of course, before we get started, make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Not for me, not because I'm just looking to have more followers, but for you, because like I said, we're going back to the basics, and my goal with the Relationship Refinery is to really help you to discover what it truly means to be loved and what it means to love, because a lot of us, we don't have positive role models. So like I said, make sure that you subscribe as well as hit the notification bell. So like I said, we're talking about 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, which is talking about what love is. Even if you are not a Christian, there are still a lot of principles that you can take from these scriptures. So first, let's address 1 Corinthians 1 through 3, which is kind of giving a background for why it's so important for us to be loved towards other people, especially if you are a Christian. It's pretty much saying that if you do not have love, you are a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal, meaning you're just making noise. So if you think about it, when it comes to your romantic relationships, y'all are supposed to be improving each other. Y'all are supposed to be growing together. Y'all are supposed to be pursuing purpose together. You can't do that if you don't truly love your partner. If you don't truly love your husband, love your wife, or if y'all are working towards that, y'all are boyfriend and girlfriend. You can't do that if y'all are just, if y'all don't truly love each other. Then the criticisms and the ways that you are calling them to be better, it's just going to sound like a noisy gong because you're not doing it with love. So yes, this is for all the people who say, well, I'm just blunt. That's just how I am. You need to find a way to do it with love. So today we are just talking about the first two qualities of 1 Corinthians 13, 4 that says love is patient and love is kind. And I want you to really take a second and think about, are you patient? Are you kind? Are you patient with your spouse? Are you patient with your friends? Are you patient with your family? Are you patient with your kids? Like, who are you patient with? What does it really mean to you to be patient? What does it really mean to be kind? Because you may say, yeah. Now, if you ask your partner, they may say, I'm sure, I'm not sure, but they probably won't say, no, you're never patient, you're never kind. But in the scripture, it's not telling you that you can be patient and kind sometimes, or when you're in a good mood, or when you've had your coffee. It's calling you to be patient and kind. It's saying that love is patient and kind. So when you say that you love your partner, you have to ask yourself, do I love my partner? Am I showing my love through my patience and my kindness towards them? That's really the question. So I know some people are real like, give me a definition, because I think we all know what it means to be patient and kind. But if we want to actually take a literal definition and break it down, according to Oxford Language, the Oxford Dictionary, to be patient means the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without, this is the key part, without getting angry or upset. Now, I know that might not always be the case. Like, sometimes when you're impatient, most of the time when you're feeling impatient, if not all the time, you're feeling some type of discomfort. And I believe that in saying without getting angry or upset, I want to say that means without outwardly showing your anger or upset, without cussing the person out, without putting hands on the person, which I hope you ain't putting hands on nobody, without, rolling your eyes or just catching an attitude with somebody. That's the upset. You may feel it. I'm not saying that your feeling of upset is invalid. It's very valid. If you feel upset because your partner is making you wait for something, or, you know, if because they're learning something, they're in a process of learning, it's okay to feel upset, but you have to watch what you do with that anger. Okay. And if we're looking at the definition of kindness, according to, same Oxford Dictionary, it says the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. How often are you friendly towards your spouse? Let's really think about that. How often are you greeting them when they come home from work? Even though you saw them this morning and y'all argued this morning. How often are you saying what you need to say, like giving criticism, as well as challenging your partner in friendly ways? Or are you doing it in a way because you're not patient with them, and so you're, cussing them out? Or maybe you're not cussing them out, but the way that you're looking at them is doing all the talking that your mouth is not doing. Considerate. Are you really considerate of your partner? Do you do things that intentionally upsets them? You're just like, well, this is just how I am, and they're just gonna have to deal with it. Are you generous towards your partner? Are you very giving? All right, and not just monetarily, not just financially, but are you giving when it comes to the last slice of pie? For example, that you love that pie, but you know that your spouse also loves the pie as well. Are you generous? Are you giving? Are you taking them into consideration and being generous in those ways? Or, like I said, it doesn't have to just be financial. It can be in just acts of service. Are you generous in, because something else, I talk about love languages all the time on the channel, and as well as with couples that I work with. And I hear some couples who say, well, this is how I like to give love. And let me be clear, love languages is not about how you like to give, it's about how you like to receive love. And if your partner's love language is something different from yours, then you being generous, you being considerate, means that you would love them in the language that they like to be loved, not the way that you feel comfortable. And then on the flip side of that, that also means being patient with your partner as they are learning to love you in your love language. As you continue to think about if you are patient or you are kind, I want you to maybe think back to earlier today or earlier this week or maybe last month about the times when you were not patient, when you were not kind, or even ask your partner, tell me about a time when I was not patient. Tell me about a time when I was not kind with you. And I know it's easy to do because we are human and we do have emotions. Once again, I want to validate you and your emotions and help you understand that your emotions are true. They are real. And I'm not saying to just push them to the side. But what do you do when you're feeling impatient? Are you kind? Do you speak to your partner in a way that shows them that you love them, even when you're upset? Are you speaking to them in a way that if God was right, like physically present, and I mean, he is present, but I mean, if he was in the flesh, if he was sitting right in front of them, are you speaking to them in a way that God would be pleased of? Or that he would be pleased with you? Like, remember that your spouse is also God's child. And if you don't want nobody talking to your child like that, don't talk to God's child like that. Be kind in your words. Proverbs 18:21. Proverbs 18:21 says that there is power. There's power in the tongue. The power of life and death is in the tongue. And the way that some spouses speak to each other, and even if you're not married yet, the way that some partners speak to each other is not kind. You speak to your partner, the person that you have committed yourself to love or to date or to get to know, worse than you would speak to a stranger. You may not be physically abusing them, but you are abusing them with your words, and that's not kind. And then also, and to address the patience aspect of things, we do live in a day and age where we want things instantly. We don't want to take the time out to teach our partner how to love us. We want them to already know it. And this is especially for those who are dating. Those of you who are dating, I hear it all the time of like, it's just one failed date after another. This person has this, and please hear me when I say that by all means, you should have a standard about yourself, but you should also be willing to teach somebody how to love you, because they weren't born knowing how to love you. They weren't even born knowing how to love their parents. So having patience with seeing them through their transformations, and that's a slippery slope right there. And I'm not going to get into it in this video of when enough is enough. But You know, that's another conversation for another day. But having patience with your partner is super important. Like I said, we live in a time where we just want things instantly. We want instant gratification. And I feel like part of it is because of social media. We see people on social media who look like that they are thriving in their relationships. Or just the fact that if you don't like what you see on this social media, you can go to another one. So this platform, you can go to another platform. If you don't like what you're looking at so far, you can refresh and get, that dopamine hit. And so it is encouraging us to be impatient. Like when we're standing in line places, we're impatient. When like I said, when our partners are making us wait for things, or when we feel like that they're not doing what they should be doing. And I don't mean like taking their responsibilities serious. I mean, you feel like that by this point they should be here and they're not. And so you're impatient with them. Okay, Asia, so you've been blabbing on and on about the importance of being patient and kind. I've encouraged you to think about when you are patient and when you're kind, or if the last time that you have been impatient or not kind. I've also encouraged you to ask your partner to tell you about the last time that they felt like you were impatient and kind, and I hope that you listen intently and you don't get defensive. Well, yeah, I was doing this because you were doing that. Right now, you, the person that's watching this video, I'm helping you to make correction. You can send it to your partner as well so that they can also make some correction. But if you're watching this video, I'm talking to you, not your partner. Okay? But some practical ways for you to practice being patient include when you are in line or in traffic, or, just when things are not going your way, notice how you feel. Try deep breathing. This is the therapy part of things, or the therapist in me. Take deep breaths. I have videos where I talk about what box breathing is. I'll be sure to link them. But practice box breathing to regulate what's going on inside your body, because you may feel stressed when you have to wait for things. Try to also put yourself in. I won't say put yourself in situations where you have to wait if you don't have to. But I'm saying, like, you at Walmart and this line has 5 people, but this one has 2 people. Go to the line that has 5 people and make yourself wait. That's the only way. Well, that's one of the ways that you're gonna do better about becoming more patient. But additionally, learn to regulate your emotions and understand that your partner, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, cannot make you feel any kind of way. The emotions that you have are valid, once again, but they're yours and yours to deal with. It is not your partner's. Some people may not like what I'm about to say, but it is not your partner's responsibility to make you happy. It is not your partner's responsibility to decrease your anger. It is not their responsibility to cheer you up when you're sad. Are those good things to do? Absolutely. Absolutely. When you're feeling sad, should they come and hug you and tell you everything's gonna be okay, or when they see that you're mad, to help calm you down, or to do things to continuously make you happy? Absolutely should they. But when they make the vows, that's not something that is required of them, because those emotions are yours. So when your spouse does something to upset you, once again, do grounding exercises or breathing exercises, or journal, or speak to a therapist, or talk to them using I statements. I feel this way when you do this. This is what I would like instead. I feel insignificant or frustrated, or like I'm not important, like work is important. I feel whatever. I feel blank when you come home late for dinner. We have discussed that you would be home by dinner, or you'd be home for dinner at this time so we could sit down and eat dinner together, so that we can watch our show together, so we can do whatever together. And the last few days you have come home late. And this is how I feel. What I would like instead is I would like for you to make it home on time, so that we can spend some time together. Instead of being like, you never come home on time, you're always doing this, you're always coming home late, and I think you're doing A, B, C, and D. Now I'm accusing you of doing whatever. No, use I statements. I feel this way. This is my feeling. I feel this way. You don't make me feel this way. I'm feeling this way. And let them know how you feel when it comes to, patience. And then, of course, also practice empathy. That's one of the ways that I feel like I'm able to be patient with other people, is by feeling like, if I was in their shoes. So let's use the staying at work late. Give your partner the benefit of the doubt. Now, if it's something that's repetitive, don't continue giving your partner the benefit of the doubt. But if it's just a one-time thing, y'all usually are sitting at the dinner table by 6 p.m. ready to eat, and it's 6:30 and they still haven't come home yet. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they ran into traffic, or maybe the boss asked them to stay, or maybe they ran to the store. Of course, ask these questions. I'm not just saying assume and don't ask. But practice empathy. If I was in that person's shoes, they've been wanting to get a promotion at work. This is an opportunity. If they stay home late at work, this is an opportunity for them to like schmooze with the boss, which could potentially lead to a promotion later on down the line. You know what? If I was in their shoes, I'd do the same thing. Practice empathy, and then that can help you to feel like, okay, so I'm gonna be patient with them. I'm gonna give them this time, or if they say, hey, for the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be coming home late. All right, practice empathy. If I was in that same position, I would probably do the same thing. So let me not get upset. Once again, do some work to regulate your own emotions. Now, when it comes to kindness, some things that you can do is that you can once again use I statements. Don't be blunt. Don't do well, I'm just blunt. That's just how I am. You can talk to everybody else that way. But the partner that you chose, the child that you have told everybody is, oh, God sent him to me. God sent her to me. Or this is the person I'm going to marry, or whatever. This is the person that you love. Don't talk to them bluntly. Talk to them with kindness. Even if you didn't grow up being talked to with kindness, it's so important for you. You just don't know how much of a relationship, or how damaging it is to talk down to your partner. The partner who's supposed to be side by side with you, not beneath you. Talk kindly to them. You, like I said, use those I statements instead of being like, you never do this, you always do this, or being sarcastic, or doing things like that. Just let them know how you feel in a kind, gentle way. In a way using the I statements. I feel this way. This is how I feel. Let them know how you feel, but do it, like I said, just do it in a friendly way. That's not taking away from the seriousness of it. I'm not saying, oh, babe, I really would appreciate it if you just came home late. I mean, if you came home on time, or you're coming home late a lot. But I understand, I'm not saying you got to do it like that. I'm not saying, don't think of it as being weak. You can say it very sternly. I would really appreciate it if you came home on time. This is a time that you and I spend together, and I enjoy spending time with you. And when you put me on the back burner, it really makes me feel insignificant. It makes me feel like, as your wife or as your husband, that I'm not important, and that work is more important, or that your friends are more important, or whatever. And then in situations like that, also give grace. So that's another way to be kind, is by giving grace. Understanding that your partner is not perfect, and neither are you. Just like you deserve grace from them, they deserve grace from you. And then also, kindness is not just in the way that you speak, it is also in the actions that you do. Do for them regularly, okay, without looking for something in return. Cook their favorite meal even though you hate. You don't eat, I don't eat pork, but his favorite meal is pork chops. Or I hate the way fish smells, but I'm going to go cook him some fish, or buy him some fish, or whatever. And I don't mean to just say he, because it shouldn't be one side. I'm not just telling the women to do more things for men. Men, yes, do more things for your woman. When's the last time you bought her flowers for no reason? Not because it was a holiday or her birthday. When's the last time you complimented her? That's kindness. I have I've had a few clients who the women say, I don't remember the last time that my husband has complimented me. Compliment her. Tell her how beautiful she is. Yeah, so what? She didn't gain weight after she had the kids. Yeah, so what? Maybe her hair is falling out. Tell her that her smile is still the same. I'm not saying, well, at least your smile is, I'm not saying say it like that, but I really mean, talk to your wife with kindness, compliment her, do for her, do for him, like spoil each other, just randomly, not because, oh, well, she cooked my favorite meal, so I'm going to buy her flowers. Like, y'all try to make it a competition. Who can outdo the other person? Who can do more for the other person? That's all of that is kindness. Thank you for watching. Like I said, this series, we're just going to be breaking down 1 Corinthians 13, 4-7. Today, we just address kindness and patience. I really strongly encourage you to find something kind and find ways to be more patient with your partner throughout this week. So that's your homework, is to do something kind, something that's not going to benefit you, as well as do something that is teaching you patience. And really assess yourself, like how are you doing? And then if you have been kind and patient to your partner, leave a comment below about what are some things that you have been doing, or what are some advice. Give the people in the community advice, because maybe you're doing amazing in your kindness for your partner. Your partner is always bragging to their friends and family about how kind you are to them. Give the people in the comment section some advice. And of course, once again, make sure that you subscribe as well as hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time that I post a video. And send this to a friend, because there may be somebody who needs to hear this. Maybe they're not even in a romantic relationship, but they're preparing and they need to remember to start being kind and patient now. You don't do this once you get married and then you start practicing these things. If you're single, you can be kind and patient to your friends and to your family and to strangers. And then that will better prepare you for the partner that you marry. I thank you once again for watching, and until next time.